Hi, I'm Stuart with Trev Deeley Motorcycles, and today our feature bike is the Harley Davidson Road Glide 3. Now this motorcycle is in vivid black. It also has the black trim on it. You have the option of chrome trim. You know, one thing I find about these bikes, it's got an unignorable confident stance. You know, just looking at it, this thing's getting it done and it's motionless. This bike comes with a 114 cubic inch air and oil cooled Milwaukee-Eight V-Twin motor. Has a 6-speed gearbox with reverse. It's belt driven, and check out those wheels. The highlighted finish on those black wheels with the spun aluminum contrast. It's a gorgeous looking bike. I get a lot of customers, they ask me, you know, I don't get to lean in the turns on this motorcycle, but it's a whole different type of ride. You still have your knees in the breeze. You're still out there with the elements. And they are such a fun bike to ride. So what I highly recommend is you come down to Trev Deeley Motorcycles, see Zach or Stuart, we'll send you out for a test ride and you get a feel for what they're like. This particular model has all the electronics, it's got all the safety features, it has ABS, traction control, you've got your navigation, your sound system, so it has everything else that our touring bikes have, but it's stripped down. And what we've done on this is we've chopped the fenders, we've bobbed the fenders for that full look. The front and rear fenders are cut down. We've also gone with a larger wheel on the rear and the front, so we've got a big wheel, low profile tires, and it's a hot looking bike. Yeah, so at the back of the motorcycle we do have the trunk, large carrying capacity. I've even seen people put luggage racks on top and add some extra carrying capacity. You can add a passenger backrest, so a lot of the Harley Davidson parts and accessories you can add to these bikes and accessorize it and personalize it yourself. So we do get a lot of customers that are coming down and perhaps they're saying their motorcycles are too heavy. We steer them towards the trike. The one thing about the trike you don't have to balance on, but you still have the feeling of riding a motorcycle, and it keeps people riding. We also have people that are smaller stature. They want to ride a motorcycle, but they're concerned about the weight of a motorcycle, and it suits them perfectly as well. So we do have a broad audience of people looking at the trike. It's a motorcycle that you do need your Class 6 motorcycle license for, but still, that's quite easy to do. There are some schools out there that teach specifically how to ride a trike. If you have a sense of how to ride a motorcycle, it's exactly the same thing. One thing I found that it takes about a half an hour or so just to get used to it, because you're not getting that lean in the corners. You're continually push steering the motorcycle through the turns, and that's just one thing to get used to. Nothing negative, it is just a different form of riding, and it's a different form of pleasure or fun. So these bikes are just a real riot to ride, and that's where you got to come down and check them out. So Harley Davidson does have 3 models of trikes. We've got the Road Glide 3, we have a freewheeler. The freewheeler is a little bit similar to the Road Glide, except for it doesn't have the fairing on the front. It's more stripped down. It's like the Road King of trikes. And then we have our Tri-Glide Ultra, which is our full touring trike. And this one, the Road Glide 3, sits between the two. This one does have the fairing, but it does have a stripped down look. One thing I like about the Road Glide 3 is you still have all your navigation, you have your music, you have all the creature comforts on there. The riding position of this motorcycle is a treat. It's really comfortable. The rider triangle, a nice seating position. Your hands just comfortably relaxed on the handlebar. You know, it's not aggressive. It's just like sitting in a chair. On our infotainment center, we do have the FM currently shown. It's a touch screen, or you can actually navigate around using the joysticks. I like using the joysticks, it's quite simple to use. We have our home button here. We can go down to our navigation screen, and if you get lost, you can find your way home. So A lot of the creature comforts that are found on our touring bikes are on this model, but this is a little bit more stripped down look, more of that hot rod looking trikes. So a lot of our customers do like the analog gauges. We've got our odometer, trip A, trip B's, our range, how many kilometers of fuel left in the fuel tank. It tells us our front and rear tire pressures. So it has everything really that you need at your fingertips. So on the Road Glide 3, we are running a dual disc front brake with the Showa suspension. The rear suspension is also adjustable. We have preload adjustment in the rear suspension. What's really cool about these bikes is they do have linked brakes. So when you do put your front brake on, it does apply a portion to the rear. When you put your rear brake on, it applies a portion to the front. So another safety feature that Harley Davidson has, and it's called the Harley Davidson linked braking system, which they are ABS, so stopping this in a very short distance, it's a very easy bike to control and a very safe bike to ride. But you really need to try one out. Just come down, Trev Deeley Motorcycles, come see Zach or Stuart. We'll send you out for a test ride and check them out.